guess we can talk about the splitter first, since that's pretty much
sure.
the most interesting one. The fastball just happens. The splitter is definitely not just a just happens scenario. So how did you start throwing it? Why did you start throwing it?
Yeah.
What do you want to get out of it?
Great question.
Yeah. No.
It all started, I'm trying to think. So like I was saying earlier, in high school, I had a changeup, but I had a very unorthodox grip to it. My pitching coach, growing up in Georgia, Clint Conley, my man to this day, love that man like another father. But he taught me this changeup grip when I was 12, and I carried it all the way till freshman, sophomore year at Columbus State.
Yeah.
And it's so four seam would be there. And then I would move all the fingers over, right? And so it looks like a basic grip, right?
Yeah.
Looks like a basic grip. The thing is, whenever I got here, I would lift my middle finger to take the entire pressure of my middle finger off the ball.
Okay.
And so it worked. After years of throwing it, I could throw it as hard as I could, but because this pressure was just completely off the ball, it would just slip out and just go 73, 76. It'd be super slow.
Gravity ball.
Almost like a gravity ball.
Yeah.
Essentially. And it worked, and it was a good pitch in high school. And then once I got to college, I had a hard time commanding it. And then eventually when I got to Lee, it was more I was a two-pitch guy. I was fastball slider out of the bullpen. For just fastball slider. And so it was really this summer, 2022, that recently, that I was throwing with my throwing partner, Frank Ellisalt, every day. And he has a nasty changeup. This slots right here, grips it, just rips it, straight UFO spin to it.
Yeah.
And I'm catching it every day. Bro, please, I will do anything in this world to get a changeup half as good as that. Please teach me your grip. So he's showing me his grips, and I'm trying them. And 1 out of every 6 actually has some fade to it and is an actual changeup. The other ones are just straight down or just flat.
Yeah.
And so at this point, it's a month into the draft league. I haven't thrown it in a game yet. I was just fastball, slider, curveball in a game.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't confident with it. And then I'm just sitting at home one day after a game, and I'm just messing with the ball. And I'm just this feels really comfortable. This is literally zero strain on my fingers, my hand, nothing. I can just go from a two-seam to this just in no problem.
And that is the grip now, right?
Exactly. And so that day when I was messing around with my grips, I was what feels comfortable? Because that was the main thing for me, because I've never thrown a split. No one's ever taught me to throw a split. This is just, I've seen Kodai Senga, Otani highlights, and they have a filthy splitter. Let's just try something.
Yeah.
And so I was you know what? Let's just try two-seam, split it, and throw it.
Yeah.
So that day when I was throwing with Frank, I was Frank, here you go, splitter. Just try it. I throw it. It starts at his chest, and it just dropped down to his ankles. I'll never forget. Because I was how did that just happen? Literally, how did that just happen? And I remember he caught it this, turns his head this. He looks at me, he goes, "You are never throwing a changeup ever again for the rest of your life."
Banned from changeup
for the rest of your life. You're never throwing a changeup. I was like, don't lie to me right now. Don't tell me it was actually a good pitch that had depth on it and had decent velocity on it. He goes, "Dude, it was perfect." So that night, I go into the game. I think we're playing the State College Spikes at home.
Yeah.
And I told my catcher, I'm look, I'm not throwing a changeup right now, but I'm trying this split. So we'll see. We'll just see how it goes. First pitch of the inning, he calls it.
Welcome to it, kid.
So first of all, in my head, I'm look, I'm going to pull this out in the game, first of all, just randomly.
Yeah.
Okay, that's... And then now my catcher's calling it first pitch of the inning. It was a lefty too, so I was you know what, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I throw it, it lands a foot in front of home plate, and he swung. And I just remember standing there I guess it works. I guess it works.
No
I
better
literally
way-
just, I was just
no
like,
better way to know.
I was just like, aim middle.
Yeah.
Throw it right down the middle. I threw it right down the middle, and then it just went boop.
Yeah.
And he swung over the top of it, and I was like, there's no way a pitch that I just tried 3 hours ago in catch play is now maybe like possibly my best off speed.
Correct. Yeah.
So that outing, I threw like 12 splitters. Like every 0-2, 1-1, I was like, nope, not slider, not fat, nope, split.
Yeah,
I just like fell in love with it. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, long story short, I ended up finishing up this summer, throwing the split slider fastball. And I mean, split was good against lefties and righties, I believe. I don't know the exact numbers on it.
It's good against.
But yeah, I figured it was getting decent results against both of them. And so that's literally how I throw and kind of interpret my own splitter, is that I just naturally have these hands that I can just comfortably split. And it's such a nice thing to have, because at release, I'm not thinking pronate, because I'm so over the top, like you said, like 11:45.
Yeah, every now and then.
11:45, 12, or whatever release angle that I'm at. Like, it's just hard for me to really get that at the end consistently.
Correct. Yeah.
Because I can do it every now and then,
Yeah.
but just on a consistent basis, having a at least decent changeup, it hasn't been working for me.
Yeah. And that's a pitch that we'll truly probably never have to do anything to.
Yeah.
Right? Unless all of a sudden it starts side spinning or something like that. Like, yeah, then we can change some stuff. But it's unique to you. It fits your fastball profile just because, you've thrown some at negative 16 inches vertical. Right? They weren't hard, but you can do it.
It has that sometimes.
Yeah, correct. And since it knuckles so much, the actual variance of movement profile makes it extremely difficult, right? And that's something that we've talked about, several times now at this point, where it's like, hey, like, your only objective is to throw it at the face mask.
And let it ride,
just
let it dance.
Let that puppy dance.
Let it dance,
and,
let it do what it's going to do.
And I think that's really what's going to make you successful. Obviously, the fastball's good. We know the fastball's good. I need you to throw it 100, but the fastball's good.
Give me like 2 more months.
We'll get there. 2 more months. Yeah,
we'll get there.
A month.